Here we are, less than a day before the Super Shemitah Jubilee year ends. I thought I would celebrate by making a video of my precious metal stack. For those of you that don't know, the Shemitah happens every 7 years and there is supposed to be a washing away of debt according to the Jewish faith. I am not Jewish or even religious, however the global elites respect these dates and plan large events and false flags around them. October 2nd, tomorrow, is the 7th Shemitah, or as some have termed it, the Super Shemitah Jubilee year, that comes to an end. Everyone seems to be on edge, and not just the alternative news media crazies either. Deutsche Bank is teetering on the edge of destruction, having announced the laying off of 23,000 people last year, about 25% of its workforce, and their stock price is down 90% since 2008. Also, don't forget the over 40 trillion euros in derivatives exposure Deutsche Bank has on its balance sheets. Oh, and Monday, October 3rd, is a national holiday in Germany, which could easily turn into a bank holiday very easily. The German government also recently warned citizens to stock up on supplies for at least 2 weeks in case of terrorism or a natural disaster. More likely, the government knows a financial collapse is coming. Not to be outdone, the Italian banks and Greek banks need a bailouts this year or they are completely screwed. These banks are systemically important to the world banking system. If one goes down, everyone goes down. The JASTA bill, better known as the Americans Gonna Sue Saudi Arabia for 9/11, got vetoed by Obama, and then, just the other day, Congress overturned it. Saudi Arabia said if that happens, they will sell off their US assets. This would also trigger other countries and funds into divesting themselves from the toxic US dollar and assets, and trigger a banking collapse and hyperinflation in the West. The amount of black swans circling the financial system this weekend is insane. The corrupt bankers want the collapse to happen because it wipes out a lot of their toxic holdings, and the sound money people want the collapse to happen to wake everyone up to the debt slavery controlling the world. So long story short, the world monetary system is about to collapse this coming week, probably, and it would be wise to prepare. Over the last 4 years, I have accumulated about 1,000 ounces of silver and a whopping 3 ounces of gold. This stack represents about 60% of my net worth. The other 40% is in the form of Bitcoin and cash held outside of the banking system. A lot of the precious metals people are down on Bitcoin because they think it's some sort of Ponzi scheme. I thought so too at first, but then I used it and I learned a lot about it, and I personally believe it's going to have a huge role to play as money in the future. That being said, I understand that Bitcoin has been around for less than 9 years. It's also a new asset class and technology, so you need to learn how to use it. If you aren't willing to commit the time and the energy to properly learn how to secure and use Bitcoin, then, just keep stacking gold and silver. That's fine. After the collapse, and our gold and silver has multiplied many times in purchasing power, we can have the Bitcoin conversation again. My stack is a bit boring, to be honest, since almost all of it is legal tender coins. I am in Canada, so I mainly purchase 1 ounce Maple Leafs because the Royal Canadian Mint only uses 4/9 purity, both in their gold and silver. I have some American Silver Eagles and other world coins, which I picked up when I first started stacking as well. Yes, you pay a premium going with legal tender coins, but you also get that premium back when you sell your coins. The main reason, though, I only buy legal tender coins is because they are covered under anti-counterfeiting laws. People can knock off a fake Scottsdale round, for example, and nothing will really happen to them if they are caught. But if they knock off an American Silver Eagle or Maple Leaf, that's big-time jail sentence because that's counterfeiting legal tender. Still, it doesn't stop some people from trying, though. Another big reason I go for legal tender coins is because counterfeit precious metals are going to become quite common after the collapse, and people won't trust anything. Bix Weir from Road to Ruta thinks that there is going to be a big melt-off. I tend to agree with him on this. How do you know that that bar of gold or silver isn't filled with a tungsten core, or those coins are made out of some brass alloy? If silver goes to $2,000 an ounce, people are going to want to be sure. Most likely what will happen is that people will store their wealth in gold and silver, but transact in fiat. Mike Maloney from goldsilver.com prefers a straight-up gold standard where people put their precious metals in a third-party vault and you then transact digitally in nanograms, grams, and ounces. I think this will become one of the ways we purchase goods in the future. You may have also noticed the coins in the slabs. These are my only numismatic coins I own, and I bought them when I first got into silver, and I didn't really know any better. Basically, I was looking for a way to make money on the internet, and I came across this multi-level marketing program called Numis Network. You pay them $120 a month, and they send you one ounce MS70 graded coin. I was only a member for 2 months because numismatics is kind of BS in my opinion, unless you really know what you're doing. Also consider, after the collapse, numismatic premiums will probably be harder to collect on. That's just a guess on my part, of course. At the very least, I got a sweet 2012 Panda coin out of the deal. At the end of the day though, I can't knock Numis Network too much because that is what led me to learning about precious metals and how absolutely vital they are as money. In fact, most people I know don't believe me that there's a collapse coming, and they think I'm stupid for stacking. Time will tell, but I have a feeling that I will be enjoying an early retirement while the other 99% of the population watches their wealth evaporate due to hyperinflation. On that cheerful note, I will end this video. I hope everyone has a safe and happy end of the monetary system collapse, Super Shemitah Jubilee 2016.